I grew up thinking wires and needles could see into my soul. Other kids had Sunday school or bedtime prayers. I had weekly sessions strapped to a silver device that hummed when I held the metal cans in my hands. They called it the meter. To me, it was just the needle. Every Thursday afternoon, one of the adults, never my parents, would sit across from me with a clipboard. They asked questions I didn't understand. Have you ever had unkind thoughts about your father? Do you keep secrets from the church? Have you ever wanted to run away? I was 6 years old. When I hesitated, they'd point at the dial twitching. The needle knows, they'd say, smiling like it was a joke. But the longer I stared at the machine, the more I believed them. I could almost feel it scraping through my brain, pulling out things I hadn't even thought yet. At first, I confessed silly things, stealing candy, wishing I could skip chores. But even when I told the truth, the dial would jump. Dirty needle, they called it. That meant I was hiding something. I'd rack my brain, desperate to find the right answer. Sometimes I made things up just so the session would end. The scariest part was how relieved they looked when I invented sins. Good, they'd say, jotting it down. Now we're making progress. I didn't realize until much later that progress only meant compliance. My father never came to these sessions. He didn't have to. He was the one who owned the faith, the prophet everyone else bowed to. At home, he treated it like homework. Did you finish your check today? And if I nodded, he smiled as though that proved I was on the right path. I remember asking once, "Why does the needle move even when I'm not lying?" He patted my head and said, "Because it sees deeper than you. Sometimes you don't even know the truth about yourself until it finds it for you." That answer terrified me more than the sessions ever did. If I couldn't trust myself, who could I trust? By the time I was 9, I didn't question it anymore. The needle was like gravity, invisible but always present, measuring every step I took, every thought I let drift across my mind. If I was angry, I pictured the dial spiking. If I laughed at something inappropriate, I imagined the auditors scribbling it down. And worst of all, I started to preemptively confess things I hadn't done yet, just in case. Because what if the needle already knew I was going to?